everyone, Miss Glennis here from the Yuma Main Library. Today we're going to be doing an activity that uses sunlight to create art. Living in Yuma, we definitely know the power of the sun, especially in the middle of summer. This activity will illuminate just how quickly the sun's light works to affect objects in our environment. You can do this activity with the Children's Sunprint STEM Kit provided by the Yuma County Library District. Stay through the end of the video and I'll tell you how you can get your own kit. For this activity, you'll need cyanotype, known as light-sensitive paper, but you can also use colored construction paper. Found objects like leaves, flowers, or stencils, water, a tray or plate, and lemon juice is optional if you want to darken your image. So what's the science? A cyanotype or sunprint is a photographic printing process that's been used since the 1800s. It's actually where the word blueprint comes from because engineers used to make copies of their drawings from cyanotype paper. So how does it work? The paper used in sunprinting is covered with chemicals that react to ultraviolet or UV light waves that are in sunlight. UV light has enough energy to break the bonds of these chemicals. So once the paper is exposed to UV light, an element in the paper begins to change, which sets off a complex reaction between two elements in the paper. The reaction ends up forming a colorless dye, which causes the original white paper to appear. This new colorless dye can't be washed away. So when we dip the paper into a water bath, the original blue dye that was protected from the sun and left behind begins to dissolve. During this soaking process, the colorless dye that was formed by the sunlight starts to change again. This time, the water is what causes a reaction. It turns the colorless dye into a deep blue dye known as Prussian blue. Although UV light creates your beautiful sun prints, it's important to remember that it can damage skin too. This activity will show you how powerful UV light is and why it's necessary to wear UV blocking sunscreen. Check out the following for more information on the sun. For best results, be sure to keep your paper out of any light until you have your objects ready. First, you'll want to find objects that you can place on your paper to create silhouettes with the sun. Locate or make objects with interesting shapes such as leaves, keys, buttons, or string. Once you have your objects, organize your items on the paper's blue side in the shade. You can cover the items and paper with a plastic wrap so the items don't move, or you can place a book over the objects until you move the paper into the sun. Next, place the sheet in the sun until the paper turns pale blue, which is about 1 to 2 minutes. I did it when it was really sunny, so it took less than a minute to develop. Just make sure you don't overexpose the paper. After removing the objects, immediately protect the print from direct sunlight and soak in water for about 1 minute. You can add a few drops of lemon juice to the water to deepen the shade of blue. Let your paper dry and now you can share what you made. Here you can see examples of the light-sensitive paper and the construction paper. If you use construction paper, you'll have to leave it out for 2 to 3 hours and the results won't be as intense, but it still works. Why not try using sunscreen to see how much or how little it blocks the sun's UV light? Or try putting it next to a window to see if it takes longer to develop. If you come up with any other cool ideas, please share your results with the library. Now, how do you get your own children's STEM kit? You need to have a kid at home under the age of 12. The teen department is offering their own kit this month, so make sure you check out their video if you have a teen. Next, you can head over to the nearest branch offering curbside pickup. STEM kits will be available for curbside pickup starting August 18th. Check the library website for the regular curbside days and hours at the branch nearest you. When you arrive, call the designated pickup number and ask for a children's sunprint kit. Kits will include light-sensitive paper. Supplies are limited and are on a first-come basis. Remember to follow the Yuma Library on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay updated on what's happening at the library. And subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more awesome library videos. Please share any pictures you take on social media so we can see your great creations. And don't forget to take our survey after you complete your experiment. Stay safe and don't stop reading.